Reacher. Alan Ritchson shares his thoughts on fans comparing his and Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher's. Reacher star Alan Ritchson recently revealed that he will never tire of being compared to Tom Cruise, who previously portrayed Jack Reacher in live-action films. Speaking with Jonathan Blomberg Interviews, Ritchson opened up about fans constantly comparing the film and television versions of Jack Reacher and if he ever got tired of the comparisons. Never. Being compared to the most legendary actor of all time? The last film star? I would never tire of being compared to somebody of his stature, Ritchson stated. Look, he did his thing. He brought a lot of eyes to this project that wouldn't be here otherwise, I think. There's some great IP, the books are great, a lot of people have read them and enjoy the show because of them, but I think a lot of people enjoy the show because he made them aware of it. Jack Reacher is a series of books written by author Lee Child. The books were first adapted to film by Paramount Pictures, with Cruise in the title role. Jack Reacher, adapting the 2005 novel One Shot, was released in 2012. A sequel based on the 2013 novel Never Go Back was released in 2016. Both films were minor box office successes. While Cruise's performance was praised in both adaptations, some fans took issue with Cruise not physically aligning with how Reacher is described in Child's books. Most of the complaints were directed at Cruise's height, 5'7". In the books, Jack Reacher is described as being 6'5" tall. Reacher has been a massive success for Prime Video. Ritchson, who stands 6'2" tall, looks more like the Reacher from the source material. The actor, who previously appeared on television series like Smallville, Blue Mountain State, and Titans, has earned near unanimous praise from fans for his portrayal of the titular drifter/former U.S. Army military police major in Prime Video's Reacher. The first season, released in 2022, adapted the first Jack Reacher novel, Killing Floor. The ongoing second season adapted the 11th novel, Bad Luck and Trouble. The action drama series has been hugely successful for Prime Video, with Reacher ranking as the #1 title on the streamer across all movies and series worldwide for 2023. Alan Ritchson teased Reacher Season 3 production is already underway for Reacher Season 3. At this time, it is not known which novel is being adapted for the third season, although Ritchson teased that it will be another self-contained story. I can't say too much about Season 3, but I will say there's a lot of classic Reacher stories which are just adventures that he gets sucked into in a big way, the actor explained. And we get to enjoy Reacher in a new world. It may not have anything to do with family, with his past. He's just living that adventure out, and that's kind of the direction that we've gone, and it seems to really be working. When it comes to adapting beloved literary characters for the screen, comparisons are inevitable. And few characters have sparked more debate among fans than Jack Reacher, the iconic hero of Lee Child's best-selling novels. Both Tom Cruise and Alan Ritchson have portrayed the towering, formidable figure, though their interpretations differ in both appearance and approach. Ritchson, who stars in Amazon Prime's Reacher series, has garnered significant praise for his take on the character. In interviews, he's been open about his feelings regarding fan comparisons to Cruise's portrayal, bringing thoughtful insight and respect to the ongoing conversation. Understanding the character of Jack Reacher. To understand the nuances of these comparisons, it's important to first grasp who Jack Reacher is on the page. Created by British author Lee Child, Reacher is a former military policeman who roams the United States, living off the grid while getting tangled up in various conspiracies and cases. Reacher is known for his sharp mind, brutal efficiency, and imposing physical presence, standing 6'5" with a hulking muscular build. His combination of intellect and raw power is central to his persona, and it's this blend of characteristics that fans are deeply attached to. When Tom Cruise was cast as Reacher in 2 film adaptations, beginning with Jack Reacher 2012, some fans were quick to point out the glaring physical difference between Cruise, at 5'7", and the towering Reacher described in the books. While Cruise brought his signature intensity and charisma to the role, many longtime fans of the novels felt that the physical disparity made it difficult for them to fully buy into his portrayal. Still, Cruise's action chops and star power ensured the films were commercially successful, even if they divided the fanbase. Alan Ritchson's approach. When Alan Ritchson was cast as Reacher for the Amazon Prime series, fans of the novels were immediately intrigued. At 6'2" and boasting a muscular, athletic frame, Ritchson more closely matched the imposing physicality that fans envisioned. But more than just looking the part, Ritchson has delivered a nuanced portrayal of Reacher that taps into the character's quiet strength, dry humor, and underlying vulnerability. In interviews, Ritchson has been candid and humble about taking on such an iconic role, particularly in light of the comparisons to Tom Cruise's version. Speaking to Collider in an interview, Ritchson expressed his respect for Cruise's interpretation, recognizing that Cruise brought his own unique talents to the character. "I mean, Tom Cruise is a legend," Ritchson said. "I grew up watching him, and he's one of the greatest actors of our time. So to be compared to him, it's an honor. But at the same time, I knew going in that I wanted to approach Reacher differently. The version of Reacher that exists in the novels is so distinctive, especially physically, and I wanted to honor that." Ritchson acknowledges that physicality is an essential part of how Reacher operates in the world. He's a guy who walks into a room and people notice because of his size. That changes how he interacts with people. He's a man of few words, but he doesn't need to say much because his presence speaks volumes. That was something I really wanted to capture. Addressing fan reactions when asked about fans comparing his portrayal to Cruise's, Ritchson has always been gracious. Rather than fueling any rivalry, he tends to emphasize that different interpretations of a character are a good thing. "I think it's great that there are different versions of Reacher out there," Ritchson said in a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly. "Tom Cruise brought his own unique style to the films, and I think there's room for both. At the end of the day, it's all about telling a good story." He also highlights that the Amazon Prime series allows for a more faithful adaptation of the source material, given its episodic format. "In the series, we have more time to explore who Reacher is and what makes him tick. We can dive deeper into his backstory, his mindset, his relationships with other characters. That's something you don't always get to do in a 2-hour film." Despite the comparisons, Ritchson isn't concerned with who fans think portrayed the better Reacher. "I'm just focused on doing justice to the character and making something that fans of the books will appreciate," he says. At the end of the day, that's what really matters. The future of Reacher, as the comparisons between Cruise's and Ritchson's portrayals continue, it's clear that both actors have left their own unique marks on the character. Tom Cruise's version introduced millions of moviegoers to the world of Jack Reacher, while Ritchson's more faithful interpretation has captured the imagination of die-hard fans who appreciate the physical and psychological depth he brings to the role. Looking ahead, Ritchson is set to reprise the role in future seasons of Reacher, and fans are excited to see how he continues to develop the character. For Ritchson, it's a challenge he welcomes. "I'm just grateful to be a part of this world," he says. "There are so many more stories to tell, and I can't wait to see where we take Reacher next." In the end, whether you prefer Cruise's more compact action hero version or Ritchson's towering, grounded take, there's no denying that Jack Reacher remains one of the most compelling characters in modern fiction. And with each new adaptation, audiences get to experience him in a fresh, exciting way. There's no denying that Jack Reacher remains one of the most compelling characters in modern fiction. And with each new adaptation, audiences get to experience him in a fresh, exciting way.